a business somewhere, things might be different from people to people, from cultures to culture, from country to country. You might need a lot of physical infrastructure as well, but in case of e-commerce, these things get eliminated, and you have a standard way of entry into the market. It makes it easy for the newcomers to enter into a certain industry or a certain market. Obviously, when you don't need a lot of physical infrastructure, when things are in a standard format everywhere, so it becomes easy to enter into a certain market. But alongside, competition also intensifies. Obviously, when everyone is welcome into the market, when everyone can enter into a market easily, the number of market players actually increases a lot, which intensifies the competition as well. Another thing which intensifies the competition is the availability of information. We have previously discussed it as well, that there is no asymmetry of information in an online arena, right? Customers, all parties involved in the business, they all have all the information regarding the industry. So when information is being available to everyone, and especially the customer, so what happens? The power shifts to the customer, right? When you can access all the price information, you can compare the price informations globally, quality information, and all other sorts of information. So it shifts the power to customer, because it gives us the ability to choose, right? While operating online, we have the ability to choose globally. We can choose from anywhere. We can compare prices globally. We can compare qualities globally. So all these things, they give power to the customer, right? We have new opportunities for value creation and branding. Yes, definitely. How we have new opportunities for value creation, we are going to discuss in a while. Branding, we can personalize, we can customize, we can reach a lot of audience while operating online. So there are huge opportunities for branding as well. Businesses that have already existed, big businesses, huge businesses like Walmart, they already have a big customer base, but now they have an opportunity for even enlarging that huge customer base while entering into the online arena. Walmart has done the same. They had a great, a huge online customer base, offline customer base, and when they entered into the online arena as well, and that huge customer base was even increased more, right? The implications of the unique features of e-commerce, we have already discussed the unique features of e-commerce, but here we are going to put some more light on how, on what the implications of those unique features are. For example, ubiquity. Ubiquity is a unique feature of e-commerce, which means anything is available everywhere and anytime, which means that the market size is going to expand exponentially. The costs would be reduced definitely, and the firm's sales operations cost will also be reduced. Differentiation strategies would also be available to us, right? How we are reducing costs? Reducing cost of the firms means that if we are trying to compare this with traditional business, right? So traditionally, if you want to expand internationally, if you want to expand globally, it would definitely cost you a lot. But in e-commerce, it would cost you almost nothing, right? New marketing channels, the distribution channels are different in e-commerce. They are more efficient. They have less number of intermediaries, right? And the market size, obviously, it is being expanded. Talking about global reach, it eliminates boundaries. It enables a global competition, right? Universal standards, we have discussed before that the technological infrastructure which we may need for entry into an online business, they are standard, they are the same everywhere, which is why the barriers to entry are further being lowered and competition is being intensified, right? Lower cost of industry and firms operation by lowering computer and communication costs. ठीक है. It enables broad scope strategy. Broad scope strategy means that when you are not being confined to a certain place, you actually go global about your operations. Richness of information, right? Richness of options available to us. These things are very much enhanced by e-commerce, and what happens that it reduces the strength of powerful distribution channels, right? We may have very simple distribution channels in e-commerce, which may directly provide the product to customers. A lot of information is available with the customers, so the strength of powerful distribution channel is being reduced. We may be relying less on the sales force, right? Everything can be automated. We do not need counter attendants and sales force personnel in order to sell the product. Everything is done on the web in an automated way, right? Interactivity, it is also very important. It helps us in differentiation strategies, right? When we want to differentiate our product from the competitor, so differentiation does not necessarily mean that we must be changing the product. Yes, it is a product differentiation is also important, but along with that, experience differentiation, what type of experience you are giving to the customer while he is getting your product, right? So these type of things, interactivity helps a lot. We have interactive shopping sessions online, and they do have a great impact over it, right? Then personalization and customization, obviously very important. We communicate in a personal way. We customize the product for the customer. It enables personalized marketing strategies. We already know that. Yes, it reduces the threat of substitutes. When you are going personalized, when you are going customized, so the threat of substitutes is a bit lower, because customization, every product is different, and you are offering different product to different customers according to their own needs. So in this case, substitution might be a little bit difficult, and you may be successful in raising barriers for some other company to enter into the market or take over you, right? Then we have information density. A lot of information is available to everyone. There is no information asymmetry, due to which what happens, the sales channel's power is reduced, and that power is being shifted to consumers. Consumers are giving more bargaining power, because now we have all information. We know we can compare different prices globally, we can compare different qualities globally, we can compare different characteristics globally and whatnot, right? So information density, it gives power to the consumers, it gives bargaining power to the consumer. Obviously, costs of obtaining, processing and distributing information is also lowered. Social technology, what happens here, it actually shifts the programming and editorial decisions to the consumer. If you remember, we have discussed consumer generated content in great details. What happens in consumer generated content, that programming and editorial decisions, programming and editorial rights are all with the customers, right? So this is how social technology is actually being affected by e-commerce. This is how social technology affects business. It energizes a large group of new suppliers as well, right? Then let's come towards how e-commerce actually have an impact over our industry structure. What is industry structure? Industry structure basically means what is the nature of the players in an industry and what is their bargaining power. This is what industry structure means. Now, industry structure, it can be defined by 5 different factors, right? 5 different forces. Rivalry among the existing competitors, the threat of substitute products, barriers to entry into the industry, the bargaining power of suppliers, and the bargaining power of buyers. These are the 5 forces which define, which characterizes what sort of industry structure we are having. Now, how e-commerce has actually affected them, or it has affected them. Entry into the barrier to the entry, right? The first point, let's start from here. Barriers to the entry means what are the obstacles when you are trying to enter into the market. Now these barriers, there are a lot of barriers when you are trying to enter into a physical market, but in online market these barriers are very much reduced, right? Need for physical stores, the need for sales force, these things are eliminated. So the barriers factor of the industry structure, it is affected by e-commerce, where it eliminates a lot of barriers. Bargaining power of buyers is actually increased due to e-commerce because there is an availability of global price and product information which shifts the bargaining power from the suppliers or the company to the buyers. Threat of substitute products. Yes, the threat of substitute products is increased in e-commerce. For example, we have seen that streaming videos on YouTube or streaming audios on SoundCloud or many other such platforms, they have totally replaced DVDs. Online reservations have replaced the travel agents, right? So e-commerce is also playing a role here. Bargaining power of suppliers. Suppliers used to have a lot of bargaining power. They still have, and they are a very important aspect of a business because businesses are dependent on them. But the online procurement systems, they typically decrease the bargaining power of suppliers. But suppliers can also benefit from elimination of these intermediaries. So now they are in direct contact with certain companies or in certain customers as well. And rivalry among competitors means that how much reactive and responsive they are to each other, right? So e-commerce increases that rivalry because they get indulged into a price competition and an expanded market. How e-commerce actually affects our industry value chain. Value chain is a set of activities performed in an industry or in a firm that transforms raw material input into final product or services, right? Value chain, in a value chain, economic value is being added to a product on every step. Let's see the diagram. Here the above line, supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer and customer. This is a typical value chain. A product starts from the supplier when it brings raw material input to the manufacturer. Manufacturer makes the product, it is being sent to distributors, then retailers and ultimately customers. Now value is being added over in each step. Now value does not necessarily means that it will be added to the physical product, right? Promoting the product is also value addition. Transportation of that product from the company to the customer, it is also value addition, right? So value was being added here on each and every step. What e-commerce did was that it eliminated a lot of intermediaries, distributors, retailers, they were eliminated. Now the manufacturer can directly send the product to the customer. Through which channel? Through the web, obviously. Okay? So e-commerce is playing a significant role here as well, and it also reduces a lot of costs. E-commerce and business strategy. What is business strategy? A set of plans for achieving superior long-term returns on the capital invested in a business firm. In simple words, it means profit. How we are going to earn profit. What are the steps which we are going to take for earning profit, right? E-commerce has an impact here as well. To see a few major strategies, we have differentiation and commoditization. We have strategy of cost competition. We have the scope strategy, focus market strategy, niche strategy, we have customer intimacy. We will go through them one by one. A differentiation strategy means all the ways a producer can make their product or service unique and different to distinguish them from the competitors. In simple words, differentiation answers a question, and that question is that why would a customer buy your product instead of your competitor's product? How you are different, what is different about you, what is special about you, right? Differentiation is very important, and this is mostly how you can make a brand successful, by differentiating it. On the other hand, we have commoditization. Commoditization means it is a situation where there are no differences among the products or services, and the only basis on which the customer will choose a certain product is price, right? These are the two competing concepts with us. Now, differentiation is the ultimate solution to all our problems. Differentiation is the ultimate solution to all our problems. Yes, commoditization, it might work temporarily for a while, but commoditization is not economically sustainable. From economic perspective, the economists argue that if you carry on commoditization for a longer period of time, when there is no difference in the product and people are choosing on the basis of price, which means there would be a cost competition among the competitors, and ultimately the price of the product would come to a position where the producer would be earning no profit, and definitely this is not what people are doing business for. So commoditization is not sustainable in a long term economically. So differentiation is our only solution to survive, to strive. E-commerce offers us a unique avenue. It offers us unique ways to differentiate our product, right? We can get personalized, we can get customized, we can give them people unique shopping experiences, and all those 8 qualities of e-commerce, they all makes your product different in comparison to those products which are available traditionally in physical markets. Strategy of cost competition, offering products and services at lower cost than customers. Obviously, e-commerce allow us to reduce a lot of costs. It allows us to reduce the cost of sales forces, the cost of the value chain, the cost of the distribution channels. It allows us to reduce the cost of entry, cost of starting a business. So all these costs are reduced, which is why we can reduce our prices, and this is how we can win from businesses in the traditional arena, because they do have to incur all these prices. They do have to pay for entry into a market, they have to pay for the sales force, they have to pay for the distribution channel and all these things, right? So here we have decreased costs. This is why we can compete on the basis of price. Scope versus focus strategy. Scope strategy means when you target the global market, you are not just confined to a specific place or a specific country. You just go global, and we know very well that e-commerce is the way to do that. If you try to acquire a scope strategy in traditional business, it would be very difficult, it would be very costly, it will be very difficult in cultural aspects, in rules and regulational aspects, right? So scope strategy is very much facilitated by e-commerce. On the other hand, focus strategy means competing within a narrow market or product segment. Now, e-commerce also plays a role in here. Focus strategy and scope strategy does not mean they are not the determinants of success or failure. It depends upon product to product, on service to service. In some products you may need focus strategy, in some products you may need the scope strategy. So keeping the focus strategy, e-commerce also plays a role in that, because here you can be personalized with the customer, you can be customized, right? You can be more intimate with the customer. And then we have ultimately customer intimacy. Customer intimacy means focusing on developing strong ties with the customer, creating an intimacy between the brand and the customer. So personalization is the key to that, and e-commerce enables us to personalize in a better way as compared to the traditional businesses. So that was it for today. Looking forward to your questions in the live session. Quote of the day is in front of you. Implement it in your lives. Have a good day. Thank you.